Hello everyone, welcome to class. So we are in simple interest, which is the final topic for financial mathematics. So don't forget, this is mathematics with teacher Abbas with clarity made structure. So let's see what we have for simple interest. Simple interest is a method to calculate the amount of money charged on a given sum of money at a given rate and for a given period of time. So simple interest as a mathematics principle as a financial mathematics topic is a method to calculate the amount of money that is charged on a given sum of money at a given rate and for a given period of time. So if you borrow money from a bank, an illustration now. So if you borrow money from a bank, you pay back more money than you borrowed. The money you borrowed is called the loan or principal. So the money you borrow is what we call the principal, and then while the additional money on the loan is what we call interest. All right. So in summary, what we are looking at as simple interest is, example, you go to borrow money from a bank. So what you borrow, the money you borrow is the loan or principal, and then we look at that as maybe, for example, you borrow 10,000 naira. This is just a quick illustration for better understanding. You borrow 10,000 naira, and then they will give you a time which you have to pay the money back, maybe 1 year, maybe 6 months, depending. So, and then now when you are returning the money, take note, let me explain the difference between principal and the interest. So when you are returning the money, what happens is that you will not return. If it's a loan, you won't return exactly the 10,000 naira you borrowed. Of course, something will be added additional to the 10,000 naira that you borrowed. So that's where the simple interest comes in. Now, so when you look at this, for example, if you are paying back, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, you are paying back, let's say, okay, let's not look at it from interest angle. Let's look at it as the amount, that's the final money you pay. Let me just use basic term. So final money you pay, let's say you now pay 15,000 naira. So if you look at this, you will know that an additional 5,000 naira has been added to the original money. So the original money here is a principal, and then the extra money added, that's what we call the interest. So the interest there will be our 5,000 naira. So that's what we are looking at, interest there. Simple interest is 5,000 naira, and then this one happens to be the amount. This happens to be the amount, which is the principal plus the interest. Principal plus interest happens to give us the amount. All right. So let's look at some terms here. We have the simple interest. We have the simple interest, which is the money that is charged, the money charged on the original money. Okay, we have the principal, which happens to be the original money, either as a loan, the loan you take, or maybe you invest money. It's not only in terms of loan. If you invest money, that money is supposed to yield an interest. Okay. And then we have our rates. Rate is always in percentage. Rate is always in percentage. All right. So take note of that. Time. Time must always be in years. Look at that. Time must always be in years. So if you are given time, maybe a month, you have to change the month to years. And then the amount is the total money combining the principal and the simple interest is what gives us the amount. Right. So let's see formulas. So we have just two formulas. Simple interest equal to principal times rate times time. Principal times rate times time all over 100%. Principal times rate times time all over 100%. That is the formula for simple interest. Okay, and then amount is equal to the principal plus simple interest. Principal plus simple interest give us the amount. So these are the two formulas we are going to work on. This class is just an introduction class, an introductions where we get the definition and and then understand the terms in simple interest. Then in our subsequent classes, we'll look at solving problems under simple equation. All right, so thank you for joining us. All right, please, this is the introduction video. Please do well to follow up with the subsequent classes of simple interest. Thank you very much. Do well to subscribe and share this amazing content, these amazing lessons to others. So, all right, I'll see you in our next class. Thank you.